Hello everyone, thanks for dropping by. For your information, the electrician came about 12:30, quarter to 1 last Monday, and he stayed for about 2 hours, so I didn't want to risk doing a video when he called, so he's going to have to come back because the flat failed on one circuit, and it's not serious, but all these flats are about 50 years old, so he said they could do with a new total rewiring, which apparently is required every 30 years, but he'll have to come back again and check the last one that failed, so I might not do one on Monday if he's coming round on a Monday. Anyway, right, you all know who that is. I've seen her in a few movies, and I would have to be nuts to want to date her if I was super wealthy. She used to be a former model, so she's way taller than me. In fact, the shortest guy she's ever been with is Sean Penn, and Sean Penn himself is 2 and a bit inches taller than me, and if you see a picture of them two together, she's just towering over him. Besides, she's a feminist Hollywood nut job, and look at that face. I've seen that kind of face before from girls. They're suspicious, looking at you with cold, emotionless eyes. And even Hollywood guys, high net worth guys, they just don't want to date her. So that just shows you what kind of person she is. She went with a 26-year-old for a one-night stand a while ago, and she was crude enough to talk about it on a podcast, including the subtle, what would you call it, a possible that he butt fucked her. So quite charming. I would find it interesting to see what she looks like in real life, but as for dating, as she's 50 years old now, she's got these 2 poor kids that have been mentally injured by thinking that they're transvestites. I wouldn't want to be any part of that kind of relationship. Anyway, enough about Charlene. As you know, as I just said, even she's had trouble dating, but she's not the only one. I was going to do about the car problems in America with the income and they can't afford cars, but I decided that would be straying out of this channel's MGTOW lane, so I decided to have a look, see what the dating situation is as we're halfway through 2026. The first thing I found was this. This is the American Institute of Family Studies, and this was done on February the 10th. Now, it says 3/4 of American women, 74%, and nearly 2/3 of men, 64%, reported they had not dated or dated only a few times in the last year. That could be the MGTOW effect. And it said, among the rising generation, dating confidence is low, possibly, but guys might have decided that the juice isn't worth the squeeze. With only about 1 in 3 young adults expressing much faith in their dating skills. And young adults need effective roadmaps to guide them through and lead them through the dating experiences that will connect their marital expectations to actual unions. Or the guys have seen what's happened to guys that have already been married and have decided that's not for me. And if you drop down, dating frequency, the few times a year and never, you notice the blue guys, nearly 30% of guys have never dated at all. Now, the dating skill, the bit which took my eye was dating barriers. Not enough time because of career, education and priorities. Slightly more guys than women, that could be the MGTOW effect. Do not want to commit to long term, you notice more guys than women. That could definitely be the MGTOW effect. Bad dating experience in the past, you notice A lot of guys have had a bad dating experience. Lack of confidence, well, we all get that when we start. And not enough money for dating activities. And notice, way more guys than women. So if you drop down, the dating marriage skill gap, one study shows there are the marital expectations versus dating skills gap for young adults today. Their desires and attitudes are not the problem. They want to build real human connections, true, form serious relationships, explore what they want in a future long-term partner, and desires of personal growth that comes from forming serious attachments. And then young people need dating education. No, they don't. In the past, they just need places where they meet people as they used to be before the pre-internet age. And one reports specific recommendations to create effective dating education. But this is a load of rubbish. Offer creative boot camps for young adults to learn and practice skills to boost their confidence. Provide online delivery platforms and all this guff. Grab young TikTok eyes and minds with engaging infotainment. That means they've still got their face glued to a screen. And more yada yada. Now that's the Institute of Family Studies. They report 1 in 3 young adults actively dating. This was done on February the 10th as well, probably the same time, published the same time as that, i.e. probably on the same day, but this was done 9 o'clock Eastern Time. And this was doesn't say when this was done. So this was probably put on the internet before this one. And if you drop down, 30% of respondents believe that they're dating either casually or exclusively. About half, 51 of respondents reported they were single but interested in starting a relationship. Doesn't say if it's guys or gals. Though this was much more the case for men, 60%, than for women. Could be thirsty men who were simps in that. Respondents reported a median of 3 exclusive dating partners in their lifetime. Maybe, but what's a woman's body count? Only 15% reported no exclusive dating partners. Another 2/3 reported 1 to 2 lifetime dating partners. Excuse me, just had some water to drink. And it said, in addition to creating emotional connections or forming serious relationships, respondents present exploring potential romantic partners, 69%. And then, not surprisingly, engaging physical intimacy as purpose of dating produced at least gender differences, 55% of guys and 35% of women. Now, 55% of the guys, that could be Chad's or his brother Tyrone. And the female, 35, women with a high body count. As in Man Talk, proper garden tool. And it says really 2/3 report that marriage was an important life goal for them. And then yak, the rest of the yak. Now this bit, AIBM, American Institute for Boys and Men. I found this, but this bit, unique gene experience. I'm a Generation Jane between the Boomer and the X, because I was born in 1956, so I'll be in this white bit. Now, the bit which took my eye was this. Growing class divide in American friendship. Now, 1990, on YouTube in the shorts, there's clips showing what the 1980s was like. It was a good time, pre-internet, pre-social media, pre-cell phones, or mobile phones as we call them here in Britain, and the no close friend, 3 or 2, but at least 6 close friends. Look at that. There was no social media. young people used to talk with each other and go out together. There was no social media forming a barrier between conversations. If you look at the short clips, you'll see that it was a lot more pleasant and happier time, the 1980s, 1990s, and so look at today. This was done in survey but American Survey 2024 and 1990. Lack of economic resources have put non-college men at considerable disadvantage in the dating market. Roughly half of non-college men today are single, compared to only 27% of non-college women. Now, a guy's not going to college because college is now been totally feminized, and one wrong word from a woman through sheer spite, and his college education is over because he gets expelled, and even though he's totally innocent, that's it, finished. So guys have decided college is not for them. It says, despite dramatic changes in public attitudes regarding gender roles, romantic viability for men is still based on their ability to provide, of course. More than 7 in 10 Americans, including roughly equal number of men and women, say that what makes a man a good partner is his ability to support a family financially. No shit, Sherlock. And I said, when men struggle economically, there are fewer romantic opportunities. True. More than half, 55% of college-educated men have gone on to date in the last month, compared to 38% of men without college degrees. Well, women won't date down. But these 38% of men with college degrees, they would date down, but 55% of blue-collar, more than half of blue-collar educated men have gone on a date last month, compared to 38% without a college degree. 38% of men are probably blue-collar workers, and 55% are college-educated, but college-educated men, they tend to move in different circles, and women won't date down to blue-collar men. So that's what I got from that paragraph. And then pregnancy, what difference the girls are, how does it shape the boy's experience, and more yada yada yada. Now the American media is starting to notice Americans are not dating, because I found this from Fox News. This was done on Valentine's Day this year. And you can see, new study, 5,275 singles find 3/4 of women and 2/3 of the men barely dated in the past year. So that, as I said, that could be the MGTOW effect. We just really don't know. And which is the bit which took my eye. Must be in the next one. Sorry about this, people. Yeah, it must be in the next one. This is a lifestyle Microsoft Network slideshow. 12 reasons why slow dating is a 2026 trend. This was done on February the 19th by this lady. So, this bit, where is it? Oh, here we go. It says, unfortunately, the global events has led to stability in a highly sexually trait. Bumble's 1925 trend data shows that 59% of women are now placing more value on stability. They've had the fun and they want to settle down, seeking partners who are emotionally consistent and reliable. I.e., she's played around and slept around in the 20s. She's approaching 30 years old, and now she wants to settle down with a nice guy. The bad boy and manic pixie dream girl archetypes are losing ground to people who actually text back when they say they will. Daters are looking for partners who can weather a storm where they just provide a fun weekend. This desire for security demands a slower vetting process and truly understand a potential partner's character, and also a ATM. You can't assess someone's reliability in a single hour meetup. But it's women who've hit the wall. The time's running out to have children, so they decide they're going to settle down for a nice guy after they've had all the fun and games with the bad boys. That's what I got from those two paragraphs. And then lots of Bumble found that 86% of singles agree that show affection now includes small behaviours like sending memes, playlists, or sharing inside jokes. But what if she ghosts you? And then AI is acting as a screen, not as a crutch. Some guys are preferring AI girlfriends to the real thing. Artificial intelligence entering the chat, but not to replace human connection. It is there to help filter it. AMAT show that 26% of singles are using AI to enhance their dating lives, often to screen matches and refine their profiles. And mental health on Spark is brought about. Friends of the new gatekeepers. You notice it's two women on a photograph. Ah, bugger off. Authentically kill the cool girl. Values the first conversation. But she generally asks, what do you do for a living? In other words, she wants to know what kind of money you're bringing in. And more yada yada. But as I'm getting on for 20 minutes, today's young adults are in a dating recession. Only 1 in 3 adults are actually dating. But this is what really took my eye. The 1990s, we used to go out in groups together. None of them had their face buried in a phone. That reminds me. This is what I looked at. American teens spend an average nearly 4 hours a day on social media and even longer on their smartphones generally. So you're going back to this. There was no smartphones in this era in 1990 compared to 2024. And that's the result. They just don't want to talk with them face to face. They'd rather send text messages and this, that and the other. It is any one of that kids buried in a virtual world don't know how to make eye contact or read body language. True. You can't learn to read social clues unless you try reading social clues. Maybe Netflix actually killed the chill. The smartphones has been a detrimental thing to dating. Social media has been an even more detrimental thing to dating, but social media has also shown young guys what women are really like, so it's a twin-edged sword. But where is it? This 59% of women now placing more value on stability. The 59% of women are complaining on TikTok that they can't find no good men. Where have all the good men gone? But they've only got themselves to blame because they're being so picky. But we're in a dating recession, and it's going to get worse as the dating recession comes into a dating depression, which I predict it's heading this way. So we'll have to wait and see what happens. I'm on 20 minutes now, so I'm going to have to wrap it up. Sorry it's a bit patchy this week, but I didn't have much time to find things because I've been doing redecorating Mum and Dad's bedroom, and that's taking me a time. But you all know the routine. Like, dislike, comment, subscribe. It's completely up to you. So until next Monday, unless the electrician's coming round, that's it for this one. Bye-bye.